Hey buddy, I'm Professor MJ and I teach statistics at the university level. My goal is to help you win money against your bookies. Unlike the first 2 weeks, I do not have any 5 or 4-star picks. Still, I've got 4 recommended plays for you. So let me unveil those plays right away. Pick number 1, which is rated 3 stars, goes to the New England Patriots minus 6 points against the Las Vegas Raiders. Cam Newton looks in great shape. He ran for 75 and 47 yards in his first 2 games as a Patriot, and he has shown great accuracy as a passer. Also, the defense has done pretty well despite the numerous departures in the offseason. Overall, I have to admit New England is playing at a higher level than I expected. The Patriots have done very well under Bill Belichick, following a straight-up loss. Now coming off a tight loss in Seattle, I would not put my money against them for sure, especially considering the Raiders will lose 1 full day of rest after playing the Monday Nighter. Also, keep in mind that the Raiders will be traveling through 3 time zones while playing a game that will feel like it's 10 a.m. Las Vegas time. Now, to be fair, such teams from the West Coast playing a 1 p.m. Eastern Time match went a perfect 2-0 last week, even 3-0 if you include Denver, who went through 2 time zones. But still, we're talking about a small sample size, so I won't worry too much about it. The injuries on the offensive line for the Raiders are worrisome. Left guard Richie Incognito is out, which by itself is already a big blow. Right tackle Trent Brown, his backup Sam Young, and Incognito's backup Denzel Good are all listed as questionable right now. So that could spell trouble for Derek Carr, who is not the most mobile quarterback in the league. Now finally, star running back Josh Jacobs is being bothered by a hip injury. I'm pretty sure that he will take the field Sunday, but he's not 100%. Following a big upset in New Orleans on primetime television, I expect a bit of a letdown by Las Vegas. So I'm taking New England to beat the 6-point spread here. Pick number 2 is also rated 3 stars, and it goes to the Dallas Cowboys plus 5 points at the Seattle Seahawks. I'm aware that Dallas has many key injuries and that Russell Wilson has played at a MVP level. However, we are still getting the Cowboys as 5-point underdogs with Prescott, Elliott, Cooper, Gallup, and rookie CeeDee Lamb in the lineup, right? So no matter what, these guys can certainly keep the game tight and won't go down easily. I also want to argue that the Cowboys' offensive line is indeed hurt, but the effect won't be as bad when facing Seattle's defensive line. LJ Collier has 0 career sack. Poona Ford has picked up just half a sack in the NFL. Jaron Reed recorded 10.5 sacks in 2018, but he had just 5 in his 3 other seasons combined. As for Benson Mayowa, he had 7 sacks with the Raiders last year, but was it an outlier? He had a total of 13 sacks in his previous 5 seasons, despite playing a minimum of 12 games in each one. So, say what you want about this matchup, the Cowboys will make it tough on Seattle with such an explosive offense. A quick remark. I spoke earlier about Russell Wilson playing like a MVP. Before the season began, I made a video discussing 6 players whose MVP odds were too high in my opinion. And my top pick was Russell Wilson at plus 1400 odds. According to BetOnline, he is now the favorite to win the award with plus 325 odds, so this bet is looking great so far. I also recommended Josh Allen at plus 6,000 odds. Right now, he is at 1,400 odds. So again, we got a great bargain prior to the 2020 season. And finally, one of my long shots was Joe Burrow at plus 21,000 odds. After two good outings, the odds have now gone down significantly to plus 8,000. You can still check out that video if you wish. My third pick is rated 2 stars. It goes to the New York Football Giants plus 4 against the San Francisco 49ers. Once again, I'm fading a West Coast team playing a 1 p.m. game. But to be honest, that was not part of my decision process. The Niners played the other team from New York last week. So based on what I read, they stayed on the East Coast between the two matchups anyway. My main argument concerns the difference between the actual point spread versus what it was before the week number 2 games. A week ago, early lines had the 49ers as 6.5 point favorites at the Giants. Following what happened in week number 2, odds makers lowered the line from 6.5 to 4. In my opinion, the drop is not big enough. Sure, the Giants lost Saquon Barkley and Sterling Shepard, which is pretty significant. But you have certainly heard of the rash of injuries on San Francisco's side. Jimmy Garoppolo, Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, Deebo Samuel, Richard Sherman, Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, and Dee Ford are all likely out. And linebacker Dre Greenlaw is uncertain to take the field. Wow, that's unbelievable. Nick Mullins is expected to be under center this weekend for the Niners. He's an undrafted quarterback who has 13 career TDs versus 11 interceptions. And he has minus 21 career rushing yards. Now the Giants' defense is not bad defending the run, with players like Dalvin Tomlinson, Leonard Williams, and Dexter Lawrence on the line. And that matches up perfectly for a meeting against a team whose QB is an unproven passer. The Giants will dare the Niners to throw the ball, and I don't trust Nick Mullins to become a superstar. The final and fourth pick, rated 1 star, Chicago Bears plus 3 at the Falcons. I don't like this pick as much as I did earlier in the week, since the line moved from 3.5 to 3. Half a point may not look super significant, but we're talking about a move to the key number 3, a win by a field goal. Chicago is 2-0, while Atlanta is 0-2. Now granted, the Bears faced two fairly weak opponents, the Lions and the Giants, while the Falcons played two tough ones, the Seahawks and the Cowboys. Still, before the season began, the Bears were expected to win 8 games versus 7.5 for the Falcons, according to odds on win totals. Now, based on the first 2 weeks, it seems right to view those squads as 500 teams. Since home field advantage in front of empty stadiums should be worth around 2 points, I really liked the Bears plus 3.5. Now I'm still picking them with the new 3 line, but I don't like it as much. Mitchell Trubisky is doing better than expected, and Chicago's defense is playing well. Meanwhile, the Falcons' offense is firing on all cylinders, but its defense cannot stop anyone. The Bears don't have any notable player on the injury list, except Khalil Mack. However, he is very likely to suit up this Sunday, which means the Bears will be playing with their full lineup this weekend. The same cannot be said about the Falcons. My gosh, the injury list is a long one. Right tackle Caleb McGarry is very likely to miss the contest. and the following players were listed as questionable as of Wednesday, which means they have a 50-50 chance of playing. Left tackle Jake Matthews, defensive end Dante Fowler, safety Damonte Kazi, defensive end Takaris McKinley, linebacker Olu Okun, and defensive tackle Davison. And I'm also omitting a few rotational players, plus star wide receiver Julio Jones, who is clearly hampered by a hamstring injury. Before I let you go, I sent an email to the subscribers of my mailing list this Wednesday to suggest 3 picks for week number 4. Indeed, bookmaker.eu and betonline.ag had already posted their very early lines. Now, according to my mantra, I'm looking to beat closing lines instead of focusing on trying to pick winners. If you consistently beat NFL closing lines, you will be a winner in the long run. Guaranteed. Now check out my video that presented this betting strategy. Now, by signing up to my mailing list, you will get 2 things: my super early NFL picks and also some NFL player proposition bets. I gave 6 free tips last week and they went 4-2, with both losses being very tight ones. So this is Professor MJ. I'm looking forward to email you winning betting tips. Have a great weekend.